Welcome to the lesson on the reciprocal function family. In this lesson, we'll review what a reciprocal is, and then we'll define the reciprocal function family. Functions that model inverse variations belong to a family whose parent is the reciprocal function. So f of x equals 1 over x. Now instead of x being in the numerator, x is in the denominator. So where x cannot be 0 because you can't have a fraction or you can't have a ratio with 0 in the denominator because you cannot divide anything by 0. So the general form of a family member is y equals a over x minus h, all that plus k, with a single real number h missing from its domain, because again that would make the denominator 0, and that cannot happen. So that's something you always have to check for. The inverse variations y equals a over x are the stretches and shrinks of the parent reciprocal function. So for example, if we look at the graph of y equals 6 over x, x cannot be 0, and because it's in the denominator, we're going to have what's called a vertical asymptote there. If you look at the graph, the graph does not cross 0 because x cannot equal 0. So because x can equal 0, y can also never equal 0. So we have what is called a horizontal asymptote. And just like graphing any other function, you want to get a number of points, put them in a chart, and then we're going to graph those points and then connect them in a smooth line, and you get the following graph of y equals 6 over 8. Each part of the graph is called a branch. So here are your basic properties of the reciprocal function family. So the parent function is 1 over x. That's when h is 0, k is 0, a is 1. If the absolute value of a is greater than 1, then the graph will stretch. If the absolute value of a is in between 0 and 1, the graph will shrink. If a is less than 0, then there will be a reflection along the x-axis. Also, just like any other graph, translation-wise, horizontal shifts happen when h is involved. So x minus h in the denominator. If h is positive, it will shift to the right. If h is negative, it will shift to the left. And vertical shifts by k. So if k is positive, it will shift up. If it's negative, the graph will shift down. Something new, however, because of the denominator, and the denominator cannot equal 0, something new to reciprocal functions is that there will be a vertical asymptote where x equals h, and a horizontal asymptote where y equals k, because that fraction part of the graph, and I'll get my pointer out, the fraction part cannot equal 0, and therefore y can never equal just k. So instead of a y-intercept, we're going to have a horizontal asymptote because the function can never equal that value of y. There will be a vertical asymptote where x equals h because that denominator can never be 0. That was our review of what a reciprocal is and our lesson on the reciprocal function family. If you have any questions, please reach out to me and ask. Meet me in live class where we can discuss this more, and I can answer any questions you have, and we can go over some homework problems and practice together. If you need more help, reach out to me, BBIM, text, email, meet me in the Math Cafe. I'm in there Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday at 11 a.m. And if you want to go in there at any other time, it's open from 9 to 3 every day. There's always a math teacher in there to help you out.